Hello everyone, and I'm making another video beside my honest opinion about the new Mewtwo form. This one is another idea that I got, and he said to do something about bad stuff that we do to people. Well, like stealing and bullying and calling people names, which is exactly what bullies do. I've had a few problems in life with stealing. In fact, I used to steal myself, but I've learned from that to where I don't steal anymore. But I've had problems where people stole my stuff, especially like one girl back in my old hometown. But I can't get those stuff back. Now, next is calling names. Now, we all know the names like ugly, stupid, retard, and those other bad names. The one that hurts me the most is probably the E word, ugly. There is one word that we can use if we don't like somebody's face, and it is unattractive, which is better. In fact, calling someone ugly, if you called me ugly to my face, I'd probably break down and cry. Yeah, it's true. I admit it. But you called me unattractive, I'd kind of be disappointed, but I'd be on my way, and I'd be strong. But ugly is such a strong word, and it can break me down very easy. I couldn't exactly didn't want to put no pictures of the bad things, so I just have a picture of Carl, my favorite character, to pull us to the end, because she's so cute. And there are lots of things to do with bullying. Comes time when making fun of people, and the bad thing is like punching you and stuff, and if you see some shows, sometimes bullies in those shows give the protagonist a black eye, sometimes worse. I don't think there's a show where somebody committed suicide because somebody bullied them. If you have any shows that do that, then put them in the comments below. But because I would love to see them. Not it's just for me looking at them to get a good idea what I'm talking about. Anyways, like I said, I'm sick, so hopefully I'll get better. I don't like it. But here's the worst thing in the world that I hate very much. It's called cyberbullying. We can't really do so much about that, except for tell our parents about it, and sometimes, in most cases, the threats get so high we have to call the police. The police are very good at tracking people on the internet down, I think using their IP addresses to get them down. They get their IP addresses, and they track them down and go to their house and take them away. Yeah, I don't know why I said all that, but there are lots of bad things you do here, and cyberbullying is really bad, but it's just people hiding behind a computer saying bad things to you. I mean, I think that's pretty. I'm not afraid of no one behind a computer screen, Not really. Unless it's, well, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going no further than that. But, yeah, cyberbullying is the worst out of all of them, because there are lots of people who do it every day. It's the worst. This world is just full of bad things. We got stealing, lots of crime, and everything. But I saw a poll of POLL, not POLE, about what statues would you be? A hero, a villain, or a anti-hero? Well, I chose anti-hero because I could, like, steal something, but give it, like, like Robin Hood, you steal from the rich and give to the poor. That's what I think I'd become. Because you'd be a bad person to those people, but you would be a hero to the other people. Now, what if you stole from a church, but you didn't really mean to, and you were going to give it to some poor person? Why would you steal from a church when you're going to give to poor people anyway? But don't just ignore that. But still, there's lots of bad things in this world. But the main thing I've encountered are stealing, cyberbullying, and bullying. Normal bullying, like, outside of in the computer-wise. Like, like, school is the worst place you can ever get bullied at. There's, like, so many kids there, and, if you're in, like, a low grade, like, take a ninth grade, for example, you're, like, a freshman there, and you get picked on by a sophomore, which is a 12th grader, and it's sad that someone older than you could just be picking on you like that. I don't like that. There's really nothing else I can talk about here, but there are lots of, things on the internet about it, and there are suicide stories, I think, about people being hurt so much by bullies that they get this sudden feeling that life has no meaning for them anymore. But, it's hard for me to say this in a way, but even if you don't have the money, you probably could be able to travel. If we only had time machines, in this world, we could go anywhere we wanted to. If we just had them, if they were only real. That is my wish. If we had time machines, I could go and visit any place I wanted to. Just teleport any place I wanted to. And it would be nice for especially kids, like little kids on the weekends when they have nothing to do, and when they can't drive yet, you'd be like, I want to go somewhere, and, well, you could use a teleporter to go to places you want, and your parents would have to take you there, but of course your parents have to go with you, because it's not safe in the world, but a teleporter would be a great idea, but, probably won't, a teleporter probably won't be here till, like, the far future. If you've ever watched Futurama, you'll know that a teleporter, I've noticed that the teleporter, because it's the year 3000, I think. We're like in, 2013? Yeah, I just wonder, because I will be dead before then, but I wonder what it's going to be like in 3000. We'll probably have time machines, which is pretty cool. I'll miss them all. It doesn't matter. We'll probably have time machines before then, and everything will be futury, just like Futurama. And I hope that you don't think of yourself as the lowest person, because you're not. That's what I used to think of myself, but I'm not crazy enough to cut myself in and do that, that, like, some people would do. And some, like they'll say, they'll think it's because I keep my secrets to myself. But, hope your lives go well, and everything else, and I will see you guys on the next video. Goodbye.